You all arrived here from Cyslodia, yes? In that case, you should depart via the south gate, rather than the one you arrived through.
After all that, Kisara never came back to see us.
I'm surprised she slipped away without us noticing. Where would she even go? I hope this place survives. You think the Dahnans and Renans have a chance of getting along? We didn't really do much to change things around here, did we?
This realm had its own walls to overcome. And in the end, it was the people themselves who decided to break them down, without any help from us. I hope they keep going, I really do.
Yeah, well, if you say so, I guess. Huh?
All right. I leave command of the Gold Dust Cats in your hands.
You've got nothing to worry about, Kisara. I'll do your brother proud.
Looks like it's time to go. Take good care of Zare for me. All right, Lagiel?
You've got it. Stay safe, Kisara.
Did you come to say goodbye?
Actually, I was wondering if you could use another companion.
Huh?
Well, we certainly don't mind you coming along. We just figured you'd stay behind and help rebuild. These people could use you.
I thought much the same thing. However, in the end, something changed my mind. Ever since Miguel died, I've been thinking a lot. About where I went wrong, what I should have done differently. You know, that sort of thing. It's true that our dream of coexistence saved many Dahnan lives, but we were naive and short-sighted. I was so wrapped up in my idea of how things should be that I didn't see the problems that existed right in front of us. I thought we had been given a utopia. And so I never bothered to look too far past its surface. I chose to be ignorant. And because of that, because of me, my brother...
Miguel's death wasn't your fault, Kisara.
Perhaps you're right. But in the end, it was me he entrusted this dream to. I learned that nothing in this life is free, or gained without sacrifice. Now that I know that, I'll just have to figure out what else I don't know.
So, decided to join us?
I have. And hopefully I can continue to protect Elde Menancia from outside the dream world, for the sake of those still inside.
And here I thought you joined for an opportunity on my life.
In all honesty, I'm grateful to you. I truly am. I don't blame you for what happened. But I must also leave your service. No longer will I be defined by protecting a Renan lord. From now on, when I fight to protect my dream. All I ask is that you do your part, that you fight alongside me, not just for those who used to believe in your dream, but for those that still do. Dohalim.
I understand. I'm no longer a lord anyway.
Well, this crew just gets bigger and bigger. All right, where to, team?
We make for Mahag Sar, the Valley of the Four Winds.
I'm amazed how easily you can move such a giant shield around like it's nothing.
Really? It's not actually as heavy as it looks.
It's really reassuring to have someone like you protecting us, though.
You know, I guess I never realized it before, but looking back, I've always been the sort to put myself in harm's way to protect those around me, even before I joined the Elderman and Sea Guard. So in a way, using this shield to keep you all safe feels like it's what I was meant to do.
You don't need to worry about protecting me. I don't plan on relying on you.
That's okay. It doesn't matter if you do or not. I don't protect people because they ask me to. I do it because I want to, and because I think it's the right thing to do. That goes for you too, Dohalim.
Me?
Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense, enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion!
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings.
I think Hoodle senses something.
Mahag Sar. That makes 4 out of the 5 realms that I've visited now.
I wonder what kind of lord we're gonna find there.
It doesn't matter. If they try to get in our way, we'll take them down and that'll be that.
Little help!
I'm not done!
Eat this!
Be still!
Lightning orb! I'm all stopped up!
Luna Rondo!
Mega Ray!
Mirage!
Raging
Dazzle!
Annihilation! Eagle
Be
Fly!
still!
Lightning Condense! Hear me!
You're finished! Megasonic thrust! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind
My
me!
fists are crushing it out there!
Gotta break through!
Mega Ray!
Dazzle! You're mine! Luna Rondo! Hurricane thrust! Mirage! It's over! Here I come! We're cleaning house!
Let me take the rest of them!
Be
Whoa,
still!
someone's
You pick
feeling
the wrong
lively.
foot.
Nothing gets by me!
Eagle Fly!
You're finished!
Talon Storm!
Mirage! Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Well, looky here. Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What's this thing?
Man, I'm famished. It's on!
Fighting! Dragon
Sovereign Alpha!
Shining Supernova! Annihilation! In the wind! Hear me!
Lunar Rocket!
Burning Strike!
You're
I'll
on!
be saving this
You're
one!
finished!
What's this? Glacial
Here I come!
Pierce the evil!
It's over!
It must take guts to fight without a weapon.
I'm not brave. I just do what I have to.
Easily be faced. You're ever in a pinch,
Just as well,
say
I'm
the
here
word.
to stop.
Your power is a spectacle to behold.
I'm not trying to be dramatic with it.
Still, it's a part of you.
Now!
Embrace it.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! There's more where that came from.
There's something in the water. I didn't realize there was a pond here.
Yeah, this is Taka Pond. And it happened to have saved my life once upon a time.
What do you mean?
As a kid, I survived life under the past lords by escaping here when I needed to. It's terrible to swim in, but great for catching a bite for dinner away from Renin eyes. Bear in mind, our rations back then weren't enough to live off of. You had to take matters into your own hands if you wanted enough food to survive.
But how did you catch them? With your bare hands?
That might take a while. Fish are prone to swim away at the first sign of trouble. I'd put bait or a lure on a line and use it with a fishing rod. You must not be familiar with fishing if this sounds new to you. Here, let me show you how it's done. Oh! I'll get you next time.
You're still not done fishing yet? Boring.
You need patience to fish. There we go. Anybody could reel in that.
Not too shabby, friend.
And that's all there is to it.
Wow. It seems like you need to have good reflexes to catch anything. I don't know if it's really for me. Kisara? I think I've seen enough.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm just in my own little world when I go fishing.
Looks like we're going to be here for a while.
That's how fishing goes. You wait for a bite, and then the real battle begins. Miguel told me that different fish live in different regions, and you have to pick the right rod and lure for what you're hoping to catch.
But that doesn't change the fact it's a giant time sink.
Of course, each fish has its own unique flavor, too. And some of them are supposed to be extremely delicious.
When you put it like that, maybe it's worth me trying my hand at fishing after all.
You're just in it for the food.
I was hoping we'd get to fish during our travels. And it just so happens I made sure to grab my brother's old rod before I left Vicente. So, if you ever feel like fishing when we've got a little downtime, just let me know.
Good to hear. Thanks for showing us.
Okay!
I'm always amazed what healing arts can do.
Just doing my job. No need to thank me.
Hey. Is it just me, or have those two barely spoken a single word to one another?
I know, right? But after everything that happened with Miguel, is it really any wonder?
Kinda puts a damper on the whole journey though, huh? How long do you think they're gonna keep this up?
If it bothers you that much, why don't you ask them?
Why do I have to ask?
How come you walk together like that?
She really doesn't beat around the bush.
You mean Kisara and myself?
You hadn't noticed? You've been practically joined at the hip ever since we left Vicente.
I guess it's force of habit, most likely. I was always ready to protect him, should the need arise. It sort of came with the job description.
Right. From being in the Elder Menancia Guard. Although, Dohalim's pretty capable of defending himself, isn't he?
Having guards doesn't necessarily mean the one being guarded is weak. No one's perfect all the time.
Even so, it's not like they're entirely wrong, Kisara. You're no longer in my employ, after all.
I don't know. I mean, if it's what she's used to and you're both comfortable with it, then who are we to judge?
But she doesn't serve him anymore. It isn't normal for her to keep following him around like she still does.
You know, she's probably right. And a lot has changed over the last few days. I guess it wouldn't hurt to rethink our relationship in light of the new circumstances. Perhaps I'll give it some thought after all. Does that sound all right by you?
Of course.
You might want to stop asking his permission for every little thing while you're at it.
Sorry. It's not that easy, shaking off old habits. I'll probably need a little time to get fully used to it. I've noticed that sometimes we come across enemies who fight like you, and try to dodge our attacks at the last second.
I hate those guys. I can get some hits in when they move into attack, but otherwise they slip past damn near everything else I throw at them.
If what you're seeking is a way to more reliably hit them, there is a solution.
Try to outclass them on reflexes?
I possess the ability to command Earth elemental beings to some extent. They emerge as the land itself and take root on my command. They will swiftly bind the enemies, at which point you can dispatch them.
Huh?
What he means is that he can make plants grow to hold the enemies in place. At least I think that's probably what he's saying.
I'm glad at least one of us understands him. So basically, if we find an enemy that likes to dodge, we should let Dohalim handle it.
I shall do what I can within my modest means to help.
I'm impressed how well balanced this thing is.
Why are you looking at me like that?
That armor you wear is standard issue for the Menancian Guard, right?
Originally, I've added some flair to it in a lot of places.
I noticed, especially with that open back.
We guardsmen pride ourselves on never showing our back to our enemies. It's my way of making myself live up to that. Plus, it makes it that much lighter and easier to maintain.
Dohalim, do you have anything to say about this?
Every guardsman is allowed to wear their armor as they see fit.
And you, Law?
Huh? Why are you asking me?
This flavor, why, it rivals the cooking of my own chefs in the palace.
Mind if I join you, Law?
Oh, hey, Alphen. What's up?
Nothing. I was just surprised to see you weren't training for once. Got a stomachache or something?
You know I don't literally train around the clock, right? I do take breaks.
Do you? It seems like you're training every chance you get.
Well, yeah, it can't be helped if I want to get stronger. Still, it's important to let your muscles rest every now and then. That's what my dad told me anyway.
Zephyr said that?
When I was a little kid, yeah. I would get so excited whenever he came home. I always followed him wherever he went and tried to learn as much from him as I could. He said, it's good to be passionate, but don't overdo it. Just like there are times when you want to take a break from studying, sometimes your body wants to take a break from training too. I was always rushing around and forgetting to rest, so he ended up telling me that a lot.
That definitely sounds like him.
It's nothing to get sad over. Still, I can't help but wonder if that was my dad's way of teaching me the dangers of rushing into things too quickly. Then again, maybe I'm just overthinking things. I wish I'd had more time to talk to him about this kind of stuff. See you guys tomorrow. I feel pretty refreshed after that sleep.
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Danans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renans.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Danan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renan doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Danan, while the Renans are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Danans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Danans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You're mine! You're on! It's over!
Airborne beat, my specialty.
This way!
one's mine!
SG Airborne scoundrels!
Sounds like a job for yours truly! Here's a healing arc!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Glacial spear!
Astral energy!
Say no more.
I know fine weapon material when I see it.
All right. There's nowhere to run from my art.
When he slows down, that's our chance. Strike! First strike!
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf!
Eagle Strike! Take this! I'm just getting started!
Take this! You're finished!
It's time! In a vine!
Now or never.
You're mine! I'm not done!
Glacial spear!
Sword Rain Alpha! Flaming Thrust! Strike! First strike! You're mine! Lightning Kick! Flaming Thrust! Lunar Ronga! Mirage! Here I come! Lightning Can! Flaming Thrust! Strike! Lunar Ronga! Mirage!
All finished!
Here I come! Sword Rain Alpha!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
You're finished! Do it! Dohalim! In an instant! Impact block!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Dahnan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Dahnan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course, There's history in the air here. I can smell it.
I don't smell anything.
Don't encourage him.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
This will be a delicious piece of
I'm surrounded!
Escape!
another hit. I can handle it.
In a bind?
Here I come!
Here I go. Photon charge.
Megasonic thrust!
Flying spree!
Sion, can you take care of that?
No sooner said than done.
You're finished!
We got the advantage.
Good.
Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, cause laws are... No place here! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike! I'm just getting started! Here's the
Rondo
evil
done.
god!
Lunar Rondo!
Freeze Blazer.
Mirage!
Do you require
I'll heal you all.
Here I come! Blue escape!
I wish I could grow like you, Lord.
You wish to learn my secrets, young Nelson?
Yes, Master.
Please, teach me the
Now.
art of defense. You...
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished!
I feel stronger. I mean, a bit.
Good. We're counting on you, Rinwell.
On me? Well, I'll do my best.
No choice!
This one's mine.
I'm not done! It's over!
Take that raging
Swordman Alpha!
I'm not so good with airborne types.
We got flyers!
I've
It's
got
over!
this. Let a marksman handle it.
You're mine! All yours! It's over! Here I come!
Stand to the wind. Do it.
We've turned the tables on her.
There are still more left.
Right! No time to hold back! Take this!
Who wants to go
Swordman
next?
Alpha! Take this! No escape! River!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Well, looky here. It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Oh yeah. We used to run up and down these slopes all the time for our training exercises.
Damn. You weren't messing around.
No choice! Take this!
Here I go.
No escape! I'm on it! Sword Rain Alpha!
Raging Star! Here I go. So, one more.
I'm not done! First strike! Sword Rain Alpha!
The enemy deals art too.
We'll soon see about that.
Here I come!
Feel.
Here I come!
This will come in handy.
I'm not done!
Take it. Into the
Sword Rain
water.
Alpha!
This is it.
Dazzle! Here I come!
Gemini onward. Don't mind if I do.
Here I come! Dragon Shell! Sword Rain Alpha!
Here and now!
Now,
River!
astral energy.
Say no more.
Got it!
Well done.
You're mine! Strike!
Searing flame.
Lunar Rondo!
Eat this!
You're mine!
Talon Hurricane!
It's on!
Eagle
Sword
Fly!
Rain Alpha!
Tear you apart!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Frost!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
been so popular.
You're mine! Dazzle! Here I come! Take it! Sword Rain Alpha! Burn in hell! You're mine! No escape! Sword Rain Alpha!
Now!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
No!
Do it! With this, I can become even stronger. I won't forgive you!
In a bind?
Arch
Take
shield!
this! Strike!
I'll tear you
Sword Rain
apart!
Alpha!
Blazing sword! Where are you going?
It's on! Ignite! Come and face me!
Hear me!
You're finished! Be still! Here I come!
Here!
Astral Arts!
That's my cue!
Shut him down! Sword Rain Alpha! Be still!
Well, if you can't rely on yourself,
Don't be a martyr. You've got all your friends here.
thanks. Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me.
Take this!
This one!
You're finished! Here I come!
That frickin' does it!
You're finished!
Let me get you up.
Okay, here I go! Lightning thrust! Here I come! I'm not to try harder! Not again!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back. The design of... This equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen. More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
Looks like trouble.
Together we got this! Take this!
Feel like me
I'm
again.
not done! It's time! Luna Rongo!
Dance in the wind!
Here it comes.
You're finished!
Light astral energy! Dance in the wind!
I'm on it!
Air
Strike!
Fear light
It's
astral
over!
energy!
Be still! Take this! Strike! Luna Rongo!
I'm on it.
Mirage!
Watch
Take
this.
this! No escape! Sword Rain Alpha!
Do it!
Trigger!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
With this, I can become even stronger. I won't forgive you!
You're mine! Crush! Drag it down! Take this! No escape! Luna Rongo! Tear!
Dance in the
Mirage!
wind!
You're
Air
dead!
thrust! Freeze
You're
laser!
mine! No escape! Luna Rongo! I'm not done!
Air thrust!
Luna Rongo! Swallow dance! You're finished!
No complaints from me.
I sure have built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
What's this?
Take this! It's over!
Don't mind if I do. Take it. One more. Take it.
You're most comfortable at a range, aren't you?
And not really built for close quarters combat.
Nor am I. Don't worry. I'll help you keep away first.
Photon Blast! Mega Ray! Let's go! Now!
One more! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! Jolene! Hey! Blow them away!
I can feel my precision improving.
Little help!
Here I come! I'm not done!
In here!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Here's the evil! Lightning
I'm not
down!
done!
Here's the evil!
Mirage!
Too much to handle?
They got me flying!
No escape! This one's all mine! Dazzle!
Well, we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
I'm quite aware without you reminding me. Art expert, coming through!
Ignite!
This
Here I come! Thrust! Hurricane Thrust! Here!
Tempest Swirl!
Swirling Alpha! River!
Astral Energy!
Say no more! Shut!
Well done!
I'm not done! Sword Rain Alpha!
Healing
Talon Storm! Do it!
Hey,
Once more! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I wonder if I'm as strong as my dad was.
One day I think you'll surpass him.
I wonder when.
Out of our way!
Take this! First strike! I'm not done! Sword Rain Alpha!
I never miss! Field! I'll be safe!
Be still!
Tectonic Punch!
Mirage!
Annihilate
You're
you!
finished!
Let's give it a whirl! I want to roll
That's it!
now! Let's go!
Strike! It's time! Sword Rain Alpha!
Annihilate! Do it!
Small! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
This is barely target practice.
Then why bother fighting them?
Because I certainly won't run away from a battle. Let's dispose of the trash.
It's okay!
I'm like bait to them.
Strike! Sword Rain Alpha!
Eagle Star!
Dazzle! Strike! I'm not done!
Now I'm in the
Sword
groove.
Rain Alpha! Be still! You're mine! No escape! Luna Rondo! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off! No escape!
Lightning Orb!
Tear! Luna Rondo!
One at a time!
You're finished! Now! You're mine! You're finished! Luna Rondo!
Glacial Spear.
You're mine!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Not a chance! I'm not done!
This one!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Wish they were all that easy.
Yeah, I think we might be getting too strong.
Isn't that good?
Play along, would you?
Looks like some solid equipment.
yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Here I come!
Did you see?
Sure did. You were checking out Kisara from behind.
What? No, I wasn't!
Guess I misread the landing.
Right, here goes! Take this!
I never miss! I'm ready!
It's over!
Swallow down!
Sword Lane
Dance in
Alpha!
the wind!
No escape! It's over! Here I come!
Lightning contained!
Damn it!
I
This
never
one's all mine!
miss!
I'm not done! Sword Lane Alpha!
Do it! Dance in the wind! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
You're finished! Luna Rondo! Megasonic Thrust! You're mine! Strike!
Gemini Aqua!
How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No!
The astral energy is surging around me.
How do you even know about all that astrally stuff?
Same way I know what you do in the middle of the night.
What? Are you serious?
Hi, Hoodle!
You're mine! Strike! Ignite!
You got company! Radiant
You're
Storm
mine!
in your dreams!
No escape! You're
Raging
finished!
Storm!
Sword Lane Alpha!
Gemini Aqua!
Here!
Now! I'm all stuffed up!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Dance
Now!
in the wind!
Take this!
Quiver
Strike! Luna Rondo!
This will come in handy. Dragon Shell! Here I
You're on! Fall! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Elde Menancia of its enemies and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do we do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan, leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes, I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already! I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? You said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you? Here I come! No further!
Lightning orb! Freeze lancer!
Here I come!
This one's mine!
You escape this! Sword Lane Alpha! Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
Speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Show me your strength.
Move it! First time! Sword Lane Alpha!
Do they not teach you to say thank you in damage? Not to a Renin, they don't.
Hurricane!
Denied! Glimmer Blade! A banana! Let's
Take
go!
this!
Will this help?
Break it down! Strike!
Healing
It's
circle!
over!
Thank you.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint.
No, that is silly! Sword Lane Alpha!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Sar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest.
Hey,